Heya, this is Sydney, and I am here to talk us through it for Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025. It is Mercury's day. Mercury is still retrograde, now back in watery Pisces, where he is not at his happiest, but perhaps he is taking something a little bit more universal into him in order for him to go back forward in a few days' time. We're almost through Mercury retrograde season. However, so for Wednesday, I think this day feels pretty nice, actually. All things considered, we do have a semi square of that moon in Gemini to the Mars in Cancer really, really early in the morning. I'm hoping that no one really even notices it. Can feel a little irritating. It would be about 6 a.m. on the East Coast, so there could be some maybe waking up a little bit with a grumble, like, I don't even know why I feel like this, but I feel a little bit out of sorts. Or I don't really quite want to like get started yet, considering that Mars has to do with our drives. But all that to say, during the day, we have all of these quintiles, these like flowing kind of ethereal aspects, these harmonic aspects that kind of bring this like Venusian charm into the day. So I think that we could be feeling relatively good, actually. 5:41 a.m. we have the moon in Gemini is going to quintile that Venus in Pisces. They're both immutable signs, so flowing, changing, right? There's a malleability with both of these signs, and so there could be like a talent of expression and charm, a way of like conveying and communicating with people and morphing into communicating with different types of people in a really charming, kind of almost like flirtatious way. It feels like a really flirtatious kind of energy. So if you are feeling that way, like just kind of go for it, like lean into that, because Lord knows we need a little bit of more charm in the world. Holy shit. We do have finally the moon in Gemini will sextile that sun in Aries. So now we have also can be a little bit of a playful kind of pioneering kind of energy where it's like the moon in Gemini is like, I have all of this information. I feel cozy about this. Like I got all of my stuff, and looks at the sun is like, are you ready to go? And the sun is like, oh yeah, can go. And so they can just go forward in this like new way. And they're in the early signs in the zodiac, right? So we know that there's like a freshness here. These are springtime signs. There's a freshness, a newness, a firstness that kind of comes with that. So I like that energy, especially at 7:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This sextile happens. This flowing energy. It's great. The big aspect of the day is 7:26 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That retrograde Venus in Pisces is going to conjunct the North Node, and this feels like a promise in our Venusian nature that we are going to be holding in order to go forward. Right? This feels like I know what values I now want to hold. I've reintegrated this new sense of feeling and care that I want to hold for my way of life, my way of loving others, my way of being in relationship, my way of caring for the world around me. And it's pointing me forward. Now, whenever we have a planet coming and touching a node, there is an instability here, but we do prefer sometimes the north node to the south node, where the south node can be a drain, the north node can really be a push forward in these new or old, reintegrated, reconsidered Venusian subjects. Love, romance, care, nurturing, our needs, art, talent, glamour, beauty, our appreciation of like ultimate supreme femininity, not having to do with gender, but just the essence of like that kind of receptive femininity principle. All of these things are kind of being revisited and renewed in order to push us forward into the future. I think it also kind of lends more to also feeling pretty good today, all things considered. And then we have some quintiles with the moon and Mercury and the moon and Neptune. I think it's going to kind of bring us into like maybe some feelings around feeling a little bit more reinvigorated in a kind of more spiritual way, being able to communicate those sorts of things that we're intuiting. At 3:43 p.m., we do have the moon conjunct Jupiter in Gemini. This is more. This is the moon going, I need more data. I need more information. I need you to tell me the tea, right? There can be a propensity to go overboard, right? Jupiter in Gemini is not in his greatest condition that he could be. He is in his detriment. So more doesn't always mean good. So be careful in overindulging, in overtelling, overspeaking, sharing too much, speaking out of turn. Oversharing things that maybe you don't necessarily truly mean. That sort of thing. Or just gathering too much that you just kind of overload and fry out. That sort of like feeling, right? Try not to process too many emotions at once. The moon in Gemini is always doing that anyways. And it's not really feeling in deep to it. It's just kind of like, I'm going to feel it all. And then I'm feeling it all. I'm going to talk about it all. And then it's just very kind of dispersed. It's air, right? It just kind of floats out like air around us. Evening time, minor aspect. We got the moon sesame square, that Pluto in Aquarius. Now, I think that this kind of is like a hit of anxiety, intensity, a way of going like, ooh, all of a sudden I feel really emotionally uncomfortable and I don't know what to do with it. It is a minor aspect. A lot of people will already be getting ready to go to bed. I think because it has to do with air signs, this is a good time to remind people that there are ways to kind of regulate our nervous systems in order to kind of bring us back to a sense of equilibrium and calm. We are only one day away from, or half a day even, away from the moon entering Cancer. But in Gemini, we need to think about how do we speak to ourselves in ways to emotionally get us to a calmer place. Maybe we journal, maybe we tap. Maybe we have some sort of free-flowing conversation. We create a container in which we're like, I'm just gonna speak, and it doesn't all have to hit, it doesn't all have to be true, but I just need to get it out of me because of this like anxiety that's kind of floating around. So know that it will pass, as everything does. Time is ephemeral. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. See ya. Hey, thank you for listening to today's Astro Weather with me. I'm Sydney. As a reminder, I'm always open to seeing both new and my beloved returning clients. My website is ddastrology.com. That is D as in dog, D as in dog, astrology.com to check me out, and just click the email buttons in order to schedule with me. If you're into a more conversational feel with your podcast and content, I have a podcast called BS Astrology with my fellow Mercurial Mommy Bender, and we put out episodes every Sunday for the week. Just search BS Astrology on YouTube or wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts, including Spotify, Audible, and more. Have a good day.